Hello, everyone. I'm happy to see you again. We are just about to start another talk during our TX conference. And this time we have here Kevin Owens, who will talk about how to win in enterprise service as a exactly service as a software as a service. Exactly, that's it. Yeah, good enough. Kevin is actually from US. Interesting fact that right now he is not living in US, but in Kosovo. So welcome, the stage is yours. Just one more thing, feel free to ask questions on the chat, and so if we'll have time, we'll answer them during this talk. If not, you can also reach out to Kevin later on. So thank you very much, stage is yours.
All right, well, thank you for the warm intro. So hi, Kevin Owens here, Chief Product Officer at Doodle. I've been here about 6 months, so I actually got the job right before the pandemic started. So I think I got the job in the pandemic, and the lockdown happened the week afterwards. So I've been working here remotely in Kosovo for a while, but I'm based in Zurich whenever the pandemic lifts, which is hopefully soon. But I want to start off with kind of the meat of what we're going to talk about today. Rather than waiting to the end, kind of getting to all these insights, I want to talk about the enterprise pyramid of needs, which I call it. And so the first one at the kind of the base of the pyramid, for me and what I've seen, is security administration. The security of what your data, your network, your users, privacy, that has to be built in from day one, because integrating that later is a lot harder, right? So we're trying to take your database and take your front end and kind of add security afterwards. It's a real pain to do. So once you have security kind of mapped out, then it's all about data and reporting. So every enterprise or SMB I've worked with, they give you all this money. Hopefully, they want to see, okay, what value are they getting on the system? So who's using it? How are they using it? How's it affecting revenue? How's it driving down costs? How's it increasing sales? So all this is very important to an enterprise or SMB. Third is the integration. So every tool we use now, whether it's Asana, Slack, Airtable, it all has to work together, or else it makes it very hard. Having these silos that different applications don't work together is really a thing of the past, and platforms that don't do that are really not going to succeed in this new world. And then the second is support and billing. So you have to provide really good support to your enterprise users, especially in this new product-led growth era where people are finding your content, they're reading it, they're onboarding themselves, they're paying for things themselves, they're setting everything up. That support and billing has to be really strong. And then finally, translation and localization. So once you have all this set up, you need to speak their language, both figuratively and literally. How do you then translate and localize and brand in their language, given the global nature of the world? So setting the foundation. So I know it's kind of late in the day. I'm up against these gaming tournaments, why should you listen to me for 15 minutes? So I've been building leading teams since 1999. So seeing the first .com boom and bust, and seeing the 2007, 2008 crisis, and kind of seeing a lot of different permutations of business and teams, and how different teams going about from the waterfall to agile transition, and now Scrums, all these different things we're doing now. And so I've 15 of those years have been focused on enterprise SaaS primarily. So working with healthcare, fraud detection, community management, you name it. I've kind of done different products for it. My last 3 companies led the turnaround based on insights of how to improve products, improve your experience, and build data. And I live and breathe product and design, constantly reading books, podcasts, and blogs. But before I get into the enterprise, every good product person knows you have to understand the jobs to be done and the user. So every enterprise user now, whether they're using a combination of email, spreadsheets, analytics, you name it. If you think about Doodle, people are solving the problem Doodle solves now with a combination of email or text message and things like that. So they're solving it some way. What do you compete? What are they using? And third, which is often overlooked, is how will your software get the user promoted? So oftentimes when people are making the case for your software at a big enterprise or a small SMB, they are putting their job on the line in some cases, if it's big enough, but they're putting a reputation on the line. They believe in the software. So you understand how to get them promoted, talk with them, understand what their ROI is, understand how they're going to get value out of the system. And finally, why should they care about your software? So they should care about your software because it's going to help them do their job better or help them make more money, or why should they care about your software? So now we'll get into the meat of the presentation. So keys to success. I think I said the first one is security, right? So we talked about this as the base of the pyramid, right? So I think you start with that secure cloud infrastructure in most cases. And obviously you can do this on premise. With the data center, it's much harder of understanding the latest technologies and maintenance and kind of keeping up with everything that's happening there. So that secure cloud infrastructure is important for a lot of different things. Then building upon that, going from the left to the right, is being compliant. So compliance in the enterprise means SOC 2, ISO, FedRAMP, HIPAA, all these things in the US that what that is an auditor will come in and then kind of give your software the seal of approval, which gives these enterprises peace of mind. So at Doodle now, we're going after our SOC 2 compliance, which will help us with our enterprise deals and help kind of get us over that hurdle. SLAs, so there's uptime monitoring of the website, whether it's 99.99, 99.95, 99.9999, whatever that is. How do you monitor that? How do you provide that uptime to the user? And also have support SLAs for when they write into you. And auditability, how do you provide audit logs back to for the client to show them who's using what and how they're using the software. And the kind of second is showing impact with value with analytics. So we talked about kind of that data level, right? Where you're showing, the value they're getting out of it. The first way you can do that is with dashboards. The dashboards are an interactive way you can show it in the platform itself. What are they, in Doodle's case, how many meetings are being scheduled, who's in the meeting, the activity, who's being added to the platform. All these things we're looking at to increase the visibility of data in the system. But sometimes, like all your data dashboards you can build don't meet their needs. People want to download that data into their system. So run VLOOKUPs and pivot tables and put it in a data warehouse, match it up with other data in their system to do what they want to do with it, right? So provide that freedom for them to do with their data what they want to. And finally is custom reports. So we allow them to do custom reporting in the system, mix and match revenue data with sales data, pull in their user data or all these different revenue data they may have to figure out how your platform is helping them do more or be better at their job. So I think these are kind of the data elements that are needed in a true enterprise solution. And then kind of the big one is making administration easy and integrated. So in our increasing global world we live in, people are all over the place. You don't come into the office, but you're kind of logging on through VPN and your Active Directory and you're signing in there. So enterprises want to have you work with that system. So you're tying into their SSO through SAML, through SCIM. So that way when people join the company or leave the company, their account gets created or removed automatically, right? So you don't have to constantly look at go and audit the users and remove them. It removes a lot of headache for the enterprise user overall. And it provides them with that security and privacy, which is paramount at the enterprise. Then roles and permissions, like the level of admins, user admin, team admin, billing admin, all very important to provide people that different experience when they log in. And then third is that teams and groups. So if one team buys a license, how do you quickly add other teams to the software? So if you think about Slack, how do you add all different teams within a given company to that piece of software so they get the value out of it? And supporting engagement with users. So the nature of content now is people will Google something, how to use it. They'll look up a YouTube video. So how do you provide that level of help content, for them to self-serve and get the value they need? So we do this through Zendesk. There's a lot of other tools to use, but our team spends a lot of time building content, thinking through it, writing white papers, writing best practices for different users. So then that'll help inform and help with your email and chat support. So they aren't finding the content they need. How can they reach out effectively and get the answers they're looking for while they're in the app itself or through email with the context? And as another level with that is customer success. Customer success is grown in popularity tremendously over the last few years. So how do you kind of provide a level of customer success to help engage users and activate them in the platform and give them somebody to talk with overall? And then playing well with others, I mean, I think it was Salesforce was probably the first app exchange out there where they brought other people into their platform to build apps to get value out of the platform. You think about the iPhone as well. I mean, iPhone were pretty useless without all the apps on the phone. So how do you enable that type of marketplace idea in your products? So through APIs and webhooks and OAuth, like the APIs really form the foundation of how the systems talk with each other. Webhooks are a way of pushing data back and forth in an easy way, whether you're pushing, like in Doodle's case, a meeting is rescheduled, and proactively pushing it out, so don't have to pull that through an API. And finally, how do you securely connect the different solutions together so that they're connected, they're fully working together by pushing data in a secure way. And speaking our language, when we talked about this when on the pyramid, I think you first start with the white labeling. You brand it, you may look in their colors, you potentially do their fonts and their backgrounds in your product itself. So when they log in, they feel like it's their enterprise, and they're able to control some of the experience, right? So that's the first level. Second level is translating it. So how do you translate into German, French, Italian, Spanish, Chinese? Translate it in the content, but also translate the user experience. Languages work different ways. They work different ways in different buttons and different interactions. So how do you test that and use that? And then further, how do you localize it? And so localize truly means is like English and German are much different in different areas where you look. So you have to be able to localize and understand the different regions and dialects and speak in their language. And this is really what a hard one to pull off, but it really will enhance the user experience. So flexible payment and subscription options. I think the payment and billing is one of the most underlooked things, I think, in SaaS when people are building new products. I think when people build products, they want to build a great user experience, a great mobile app, and then try to figure out how do we then have people pay for this, right? So then slapping on or bolting on a subscription platform is very hard in most cases. But if you build in a way that you're plugging this in, so you can easily launch new products, new packaging, new currencies, new regions very easily, it helps you innovate faster. So we partner with ChargeBee, which is a big company now. They've got a lot of funding, and we've grown with them, and they're growing in their platform. But they allow us to easily add new packages. Flexible invoicing is a big one as well. So how to do net 30, net 60, wire transfers, bank transfers, because not everybody can pay through credit card. If you think about a big purchase, you're not going to put that on your corporate credit card or your personal credit card. And how do you provide flexibility with group and central billing as well? So how do you have either a team billing or push it back to procurement for billing? So we went through, a lot of the keys to success, but really there's two more things I want to point out before we end our kind of this session today. So first is invest in user experience. I think traditionally in the enterprise, people would think it's not a big deal. It's just an ERP system. It's just an HR system. Like people will just log in and use it, but every day you see new upstarts in these areas, like coming with better user experience, better design, because people expect it now. People use Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, and they expect that really nice user experience. And how do you understand that? You get out of the office and talk to users, or get out of your apartment or get out of your house. So we're doing this a lot now. Doodle is talking with users, seeing how they use it, understanding how the challenges they have, finding things, the design, and constantly improving that. And third is monitor the competition, but not be worried about them. I think there's new scheduling companies come up every single day. If I look at Product Hunt, there's dozens probably every month. So how do we monitor what's happening, but also not worry about it too much, but understand what's going on? And really for the final point, I think what I want to show is some growing trends I see in enterprise, which have been there for a while. I think it's becoming more and more prevalent. So one is data residency. So in our increasingly fragmented and problematic world we're living in, is that people want to have their data living in country or living in their region and not have it be in the US, not have it be in Europe, not have it be in China, right? So how do you make your data resonant in the different areas that people are in? It's very hard to do in order to pull off. Also, when you already have your data structure already. Second is accessibility. So accessibility is how do you adjust your software and build it and design it in a way that is mindful of people that are seeing different colors, have basically visual and hearing issues that are have a hard time navigating the web. So how do you think about that in your platform when you're building it? And third, which this thing is bigger and bigger, is roadmap transparency. And so when people give you a lot of money, they want to understand what's coming and what's coming next. So in my past companies, I've done roadmap sessions with customers all the time. We're doing that more at Doodle now. It's like, how do you provide transparency, where we're going, what we're building, why we're doing it? Can they impact the roadmap at all? And automations and workflow. So that's the final step. How do you bring the workflow and automations into the platform so you make your data work and you make it work together? So really, those are growing trends I see, and I think we're probably near time as well.
Yes, we're almost done with the time, but I think you can quickly answer to those questions that we have in the chat from Anina and Jens. So the question from Anina is actually, what 3 things do you recommend startups to focus on first or most? And then another question is, how do you measure good UI or UX?
Yeah, 3 things I would focus on is security, billing, and user experience. I would focus on first. Make sure you're secure, you can bill, and the system looks good and works well. And then how do you measure UI? I think it's, well, really there is heuristics you can use, but the best way to do it is watch your users use the system and see how quickly they can get to the task they want to do and complete that task. And so if it's not intuitive, they can't complete it, then that's really how I measure what's happening in the system.
All right, thank you very much. Guys, feel free to also connect after this talk. There's this option of direct messages. You can exchange, you can talk, you can add your contact to LinkedIn and then do it later. This conference is also, one of the reasons of this conference is also to foster such an exchange, right? And for now, thank you very much, Kevin, for your talk, and see you around.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.